Hello everyone and welcome to TGP1 Season 42. It's rounds 19 and 20. It's the 10th week of the 42nd season already. We're on the final two rounds. We're currently watching On Board with Dom Smith as Machine Ireland sets provisional pole 3 tenths ahead of the Season 42 champion-elect ERT Casper, who's on the front row of the grid as usual. I'm joined once again by CJH. A warm welcome to you.
Thanks, Jack. We are here at the end of the season. It's been a great championship, and let's hope these final two races tonight just put the icing on the cake, if you like, in terms of racing and the entertainment that we've had thoroughly throughout this season.
Well, Dom Smith has sneaked in to the top 10. He's in 8th place, currently on a 22-2. He'll look to improve on that. The battle for the championship in the drivers is over. Casper is your champion. Jovial Manti looks like he has P2 secured, barring an absolute disaster tonight. So it is the battle for third. It's Court, Machine Fishy and Kieran. They're battling for P3 in the Drivers' Championship, and only 9 points separate third to fifth. The battle in the Constructors, 22 points between Mercedes and VCarb. It's Lewis Craig and Casper. Casper doing all the heavy lifting so far this season. And Dom Smith and Jovial Manti doing what they can. 22 points the gap. Can VCarb pull off a bit of an upset and sneak the Constructors' Championship here on the last night?
Well, I wouldn't put it past them because, Jovial Manti this season, he's just been there every single time when the chaos has emerged. He's been there to pick up the pieces, and Dom Smith himself has been able to pick up the pieces now and again. So let's just see. I mean, it could definitely happen, that's for sure. But I think Casper, he'll want that championship double, that is for sure. He'll be motivated to secure that Constructors' title tonight.
Well, Casper wants both championships. He set the goal for him and Lewis at the start of the season to pick up both titles if possible, and that is Casper's main goal. He's done all the heavy lifting compared to his teammate. Here's Jovial Manti coming up to the line, and it is P2 that knocks Casper off the front row of the grid as Casper's on his out lap. So when Casper does come round, we'll let CJH do a lap on board with Casper. But just before that happens, Casper is the champion. Does he feel that he wants to pick up 2 more wins tonight just to secure the maximum points he possibly can?
I think so. I mean, obviously, he's got the pressure of the championship now away from him, so we'll find out really how he fares as he starts his final lap here with about 6 minutes to go. He's actually pulling to the inside there, trying to shorten the run to the first corner. It's a very quick first corner, 5th gear. You want to push it out as wide as you can there just to carry the speed. Once again, 5th gear for this next corner as he gets a big old swapper coming out of that corner there. A little bit too hot on the throttle. And it is a relenting circuit, this one. It's used for MotoGP. It's very fast-flowing corners. And as you can see there, this whole first sector is pretty much flat out. This is pretty much the slowest corner, actually, on the track there. And you're already in third gear. That says all you need to know about this lap. As we come into the middle sector here, it's all about just riding these curbs. You want to use as much of the circuit as you possibly can get away with. You can get a bit too wide here on this corner. Let's just see how he does. Yep, it's perfect at the minute. You can very easily invalidate the lap. It's fairly straightforward here. You've got this triple right-hander that just keeps on going on and on forever here. Foot to the floor. And you can just see he just hit the curb there on the inside, just unsettling the car an ever so slight bit. Very tricky left-hander here. You need to keep that absolutely flat out. And again, you can very easily invalidate your time. He's got 1 corner to go. And he might just get a little slipstream off the Red Bull in front. The DRS is going to be wide open as he comes up to the line. And he goes pole, provisionally at the minute with a 121.2.
A very quick lap from Casper indeed. Dal Morris next up to the line. He goes into the second row of the grid. Dal Morris's qualifying for him has been very impressive this season in TGP1. Court Gill down in 7th. He's going to get going again. So I think he's just overtaken Aiden, who's down in 8th place. But a big shout out to Dom Smith. He's been very impressive this season. He's been unlucky not to pick up a podium in opportunities, but it'll be P7 hopefully for him this season, and that'll be his highest since I believe it was season 14 that was his highest finish in TGP1, and he's only 21 points away from matching his all-time record. Have we got anyone else on a flying lap? I think guys are just getting ready to go.
Well, I tell you, Jack, Court was on a bit of a fly there. He's pushing hard, and he absolutely lost the car going into the second sector. That very quick double right-hander, absolutely, the car just gave up on him. So a bit of an unfortunate mistake for him. He's not going to improve. And I have to say, Jack, there is a little bit of a battle for this third place, maybe even the second place spot in the championship. It's not obviously the main objective for all the drivers when they start the season, but I'm sure those three of Court, we've got Machine Island and Kai, and maybe they could challenge Joe Valenti for that second place spot. They're all trying to go after each other.
Yeah, Joe Valenti's second in the championship. He has 240 points to his name, so there's a bit of an ask. They're 19 points back on Roy, so Roy might be safe, but in a disaster. But then you got Court on 221, Machine Fishy on 219, who's picked up 2 race wins this season. Kieran as well on 213, just a few points back. He has an opportunity as well. He won at Imola, and here comes Majid Poopkanen now. Improves by a tenth, not enough to put him up the order, but he did improve in his lap time. And now I think it will be Dom Smith, unless Court is on a flyer. We'll see what Court's split time is going to be for the first sector. We'll see if he's on a flying lap when he gets round. We'll go on board with the Red Bull Dutch driver. There was a very impressive Dutch Red Bull drive Sunday. Can Court do the same tonight? He's just improving by less than a tenth. Will it be enough to kind of challenge the Aston Martins, who are on a 21.9 in 5th and 6th? Aston been very impressive this season as well. Phil obviously picked up the win on opening night. Matt Tibos picked up a few 4th places here and there. And third in the constructors has been pretty good for Aston. They've kind of been best of the rest outside of V-Carb and Mercedes. Machine Ireland is just coming out on his outlap as well. Court still improving by a tenth, might not be enough to challenge the Astons.
Yeah, he needs more, that is for sure. The gaps are quite big, you know. He's a second off pole at the minute, so Court needs to find time in his final sector, and he's invalidated. He went too wide there at that corner. Like I said on Casper's lap, it's so easy to get a bit too greedy on the exit, and he's paid the price.
Yep, and we'll go on board with the man that is in the hunt to win the Constructors' Championship. He's on course for his best season in TGP1 since season 14, all them years ago when half of us weren't even born. But it's on board with Dom Smith. He's very clean, but he's fighting the car on the exit. His Court has called it a day. He's not got time to get back round. Hopefully that was in the pits. It looks like it was. Dom Smith though, P9. He'll be wanting to be higher than P9. He's been very good in qualifying, very good in the races. He was battling Lewis Craig earlier on in the season, but he's left Lewis Craig in the dust. There's a 41-point swing in Dom's favour. The Manxman car number 7 has been very impressive, and we want him to pick up a podium. He's been so great and just been very unlucky, but Dom Smith is absolutely flying through this couple of corners. He's looking to battle the old-timer Aidan Griffiths as well, the man that just surpassed 400 race starts, and Dom Smith is looking about 0.2 of a second up. He's finding the time that Court Gill couldn't earlier in the session, and Dom now coming into that tricky left-hander where Court invalidated. Dom takes it a bit slower and manages to keep it on the island in between the white lines. Round the final corner Dom will go now, keeps it on the line. He'll open the DRS in about 50 metres. It will give him a bit of extra speed, and it's only going to be P7 for Dom, and hopefully he'll be managing to hang on to that. Aidan Griffin's going to be looking to pick up time as well. He's invalidated, so he's not going to improve. Are the top guys going to be able to challenge Casper?
This is the problem. There's so many people still settle out, so Dom Smith may be in a bit of trouble. Casper is done and dusted. The checkered flag is out. We've got an Aston Martin coming up to the line of Matt Tibos, currently up on his lap, but it's not going to be enough to improve up the order. It was an improvement on his PB, but not a positional improvement. We've got a McLaren in the final sector of Aidan Griffiths. He's down on his lap and he's invalidated, so scrap him. And we've got Lewis Craig. Lewis Craig is on a lap here. We've got one corner to go. Let's see where he can put that Mercedes, and a decent exit out the final corner. It was a little bit shaky, but the DRS is wide open. Where can he put that car? He goes 8th.
8th place, a smashing lap from Lewis Craig to pick up 6 places. Machine Ireland was down on his time. It's now Giovinazzi, the last real challenger for Casper's pole position, but it needs a big final sector, and it's not enough, and that looks like it could be qualifying over, but Dan Morris is improving and could be on for a front row grid. I believe that would be the first time in the Haas driver's TGP1 career. Multiple wins in TGP2, especially one round Qatar in season 33. What will it be for Dan Morris on the run up to the line? It's going to be P3. He just misses out on a front row start, but that is very impressive, and I think Phil crossed the line last there, but I don't think Phil managed to pick up any places.
Yeah, unfortunate for Phil there, but Dan Morris so close to that front row, but Casper's time, you have to say, it was unbeatable.
Well, Casper, as he is the champion, you'd expect him to be in a world of his own, and that's what he was tonight in qualifying in Qatar. Casper on pole, followed by Machine Ireland. It's Dan Morris and Giovinazzi making it a 2-3-4 Irish lockout. Speed Kai managed to pick up 5th, Matt Tibble 6th, Arthur picked up 7th there in the dying moments, Phil Bargewell in 8th, Cam K-Man picked up 9th at the end, and Dom Smith dropped down to P10. So in the battle for the constructors, it looks like Dom Smith is going to have to pick up a few places to try and help Giovinazzi pick up that championship. It's not the championship you want at the beginning of the season, but at this stage in the season when it's all to play for, the guys are absolutely desperate for it.
Oh, well, that's the thing. You'd rather come away with a title than nothing at all. So the RBs will be going absolutely hell for leather to try and claw that gap back. And at the end of the day, I think everyone that hasn't had a win yet, or hasn't had a podium yet, or even just a good result, this is it. This is your last opportunities to end the season on a high and come away with something from this championship. So let's just see. I think there's going to be a lot of drivers going all out to try and just get that last sweet result of the season.
Well, we don't get going again until spring of 2025. If you want to win a race before Casper tries to defend his championship next season, now is the time. Phil Bargewell won the opening round, so we have absolutely any chance of anybody picking up the win. We are on the grid. It is Casper and Machine Ireland on the front row. And it's lights out in Qatar, and Casper has not gotten away too great there as Machine Ireland is going to challenge him into turn 1 on board with the kick saber. What can he do? Down the inside he'll go, but Casper will try hang around the outside. They don't make contact, they leave each other enough space, and it looks like Machine Ireland has not got the grip round the outside, and Casper manages to hold on, but Machine Ireland does the switchback, but he's not got the traction to make the move on Casper. There's moves further back. Dan Morris is managed to hold on to P3. He's looking to make that P2 as the Haas driver round the outside of the end of Sector 1. What a move that would be from Dan Morris if he can squeeze Machine Ireland. I believe there's a McLaren off in the background there as well of Aidan Griffins. Dan Morris and Machine Ireland are still side by side, and the Haas driver doing everything he can to try get into P2. They're still side by side, and he just manages to squeeze the Sauber out. And will he get the traction on the outside of the corner? Yes, he can. What a move that was from Dan Morris as Casper peels away. He's almost already broken the DRS.
What great racing between the two of them. Dan Morris seeing the opportunity on those soft tyres, and Machine Ireland would just not give that up. And a great effort from the pair of them. But Dan Morris now, can he get after Casper? Being on that softer tyre at the start here, he has to make the most of it.
Indeed, he does. Bevesser has made a move on Magic Poopcan. I believe it was Bevesser that was the car that went off in the beginning, but here comes Dom Smith now. And actually, sorry, it's Speed Kai on his teammate, Giovinazzi, down the inside into turn 1 as the V-Carb drops another position. And as it looked like Dom was going to make the move on Kai, Kai just had so much straight line speed there. And Dom Smith struggling. He's got Court all over the back of him in the sister Red Bull. And now it looks like Court going to be very racy into turn number 4, down the inside he goes, and Dom very late on the brakes, and it was beautiful car placement from the Manxman.
Yeah, he did well there just to hold that outside line and keep the momentum through the corner to hold off Court. But a great start for Dom, really. Again, another driver on the soft tyres, but he's holding off Court. That potentially on paper should be a little bit quicker than Dom Smith here, but Dom maybe put his teammate under pressure in a moment if he keeps this pace going.
Dom Smith very quick around Qatar in the early phases on the quicker compounded tyre, so you would expect this. This is what V-Carb need to do to pick up any chance of winning the Constructors. Lewis Craig picking up minimal points and Casper is leading. Dan Morris, though, not losing sight of the Mercedes ahead. Dan Morris, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, picked up a win in Qatar in TGP2, and he's transferring that pace to TGP1 here, and he's got Machine Ireland, who will have the DRS. Will Machine Ireland be able to make a move into turn 1 here? The Cyber picked up 2 wins in the wet conditions, but here comes Dan Morris for the lead of a TGP1 Grand Prix. He's going to have to do it the hard way. Round the outside of Casper he'll go, and Casper places the car wonderfully, and that is why he is champion-elect for tonight. And Dan Morris did manage to hang on to P2 for the moment, as Court finally getting past Tom Smith. They're side by side. It's the Dutchman versus the Manxman, and it's the Dutchman that wins out, and Court can set his sights on his rival for P3 in the championship, Jovial Manny.
Yeah, Casper, like you were saying, that did a great job to hold on to that position, but he is still under immense pressure here. Dan Morris really does have the pace to do something in this race, and he has to get past Casper. If he has the pace in the locker, he's got to use it, but he just can't quite find a way past Casper at the minute. It's a tricky old track, this, to get the overtake done. You only have a few opportunities, but Dan Morris here, if he can just stay with that Mercedes, get the DRS down the start-finish straight, he surely will take the lead here.
Well, Dan Morris doing what he can, and if he can get into the lead of the Grand Prix, that would be wonderful for a Haas team that have been struggling all season. The only good fortune came in Azerbaijan when Cam came on, picked up the podium, holding off Lewis Craig. But here comes Kai now, getting involved in this battle for the podium, and it seems like the mediums are starting to come to the drivers on lap number 3. We're beginning lap 4, we're on board with the Williams, and we're getting an absolutely wonderful view of the battle in front. Casper going defensive again. Can Dan Morris go the long way round? He has to do the switchback, but he's not got the traction on the softs, and Dan Morris on the quicker tyres is running out of laps, and Machine Ireland had a bit of a moment there, just managing to hang on to the front of the car, a bit of oversteer. But it is as you were for the moment. Matt Tibos has dropped all the way down to P10, so I think Matt Tibos may have had a moment earlier on in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, not a great second phase of this opening part of the race for him, but you have to say Casper again there. Oh, and look at that, Machine Island, have a look down the inside of Dan Morris, up the inside. You don't normally see an overtake there, but he caught the Haas driver napping, and easy as you like, the Sauber gets ahead, and Dan Morris, the opportunity has gone on those soft tyres, and he's going to have to surely somehow recover himself now to get back ahead, but he was caught napping there by Machine Island.
And here comes Kai now, down the inside, follows Machine Island through. We're watching on board with the Williams the whole time. What a move that was. That is the difference between being a TGP2 winner and being a TGP1 winner. Machine Island just seen the gap and went for it, something that a TGP2 driver doesn't really expect. But Machine Ireland absolutely now got a great chance of trying to catch Casper. It's 6 tenths the gap. They've managed to gap Jovial Manny, who's a bit further back. He's just kind of outside. Here comes Kai now, round the outside. Machine Ireland going to go defensive. Machine Ireland wasn't able to make the move, as Machine Ireland forcing Kai off, and Kai can't make the move after going off track. And that is exactly what Casper wants to see. He wants to see a battle further back. Dan Morris, though, not losing sight of this, and he's got a great chance of picking up a podium here, does Dan.
Well, absolutely, and he will have the undercut being on those soft tyres. He will pit earlier than these lots, so he'll have to make the most of that when that opportunity comes around, and he's just got to stay with these guys, and you can see they're all starting to close up. Jovial Manny now starting to join the party, and Court is within the DRS of him, so we may have a 6-way fight for the podium spots, or maybe even the lead here, because Machine Island is starting to gain on Casper, but he's got Kai, who's came out of nowhere really in this race, because he had a good start, but already now he's kind of really shown his hand in this one, so it sets it up nicely for the remainder of this.
Aidan Griffiths as well, looking to make this 6-way battle for the win into a 7, but he's struggling in the dirty air of Dom Smith's V-car ahead, so it looks like the softs have started to go off, and maybe Aidan just getting a wee bit frustrated and just needs to try and get past Dom Smith when he gets the chance. There's someone in the pits, I believe that is Dan Morris, but here comes Machine Ireland now into the lead, but here comes Kai, the man that has been great at stealing the opportunity from Casper Casper at the dying moments, and Kai makes a double overtake into turn 1, leads the Grand Prix out of nowhere. He was down in 5th when we started the Grand Prix. It's 5th to 1st, and now Casper down on the final step of the podium. Casper did not see that one coming, but Casper now just needs to bide his time and try get back in to the slipstream, open the DRS, and these guys going to pit in the next couple of laps as well, as they can't afford to lose too much time to Dan, who's obviously going to do that undercut.
I tell you, Jack, I know it's a long start-finish straight, but that DRS is unbelievably powerful as Casper makes a mistake there. Goes over the curb, has a little moment coming out the corner. He'll get away with it. He'll pick up a warning surely for that, which may come back to bite him later in the race. But as I was saying, that DRS is so powerful down the start-finish straight. You see Kai there was an absolute rocket ship as he flew past the pair of them. But this time, he will be the one under serious pressure, and Machine Island is almost pushing him through these corners.
Well, Speed Kai doing what he can to hold up the kick server behind, and just hoping that he can kind of get a great exit out the final corner. He avoids the curb on the right hand side. He's going to be a sitting duck, and before we even open the DRS, there goes Machine Ireland, and these are going to be another Grand Prix where the lead chops and changes. And here comes Casper now, looking to retake P2 of the Grand Prix, and Kai goes deep into the corner, and Casper has to go off track, but just manages to get the move done before the apex. And now Speed Kai drops down the order, and Machine Ireland leads the Grand Prix. Dom Smith is boxed. That's freed up Aiden, who's 3 seconds back now. Being stuck behind Dom Smith has cost the Scotsman an absolute bundle of time in the McLaren. One of the guys that have been a reserve most of the season should be full-time next season. I believe I seen Aiden get a full-time seat in the chat. Dan Morris, though, battling Court Gill. These guys have stopped, and this is battle for position. So Court Gill is a lot closer to everyone than we thought, as they're touching wheel to wheel. A wee bit of love tapping between the Irishman and the Dutchman. And Dan Morris has picked up a time penalty for going off track. And the guys maybe need to get a wee bit of calmness in the cockpit. A wee bit of battles, just getting too excited. But the top 3 very close, and I imagine they're going to come into the pits in the next lap or two.
Well, they have to react. They have to react because that undercut that those have pulled. But the problem is, if they start scrapping like that, they will just benefit nothing from pitting early. And, well, I thought one of them was going to come in the pits, but none of them are. They're all staying out. And here we go again. I think Casper is going to take the lead here.
Here comes Casper. Down the inside, well, it's not even going to be inside, it'll be done before the braking zone, and Kai has to take evasive action because Machine Ireland had nowhere to go, and the kick server's trying to hang on to position, but what a move that is from Kai to take P2. Casper, Casper, Kai spun, he's lost it on the curb, and the Williams will drop down the order. A great start. He's not too far back, he's only about 3 seconds off the podium, so it should be okay if he can get going again and get the temperatures down in his tyres. But you imagine Williams are going to have to call him into the pit now regardless. Those temperatures are going to be absolutely soaring, and Aiden will be licking his lips in that McLaren behind to try and make the move. And Machine Ireland 2 temps back. Gioviamani just dropped out of the DRS for the first time since lap 5. Gioviamani, one to watch out for maybe a sneak win of this Grand Prix. We've not said that before in TGP1 this season. If there's contact up front.
Yeah, he's absolutely where he always is in these spots. He's always there to pick up the pieces when the unfortunate happens ahead of him. And, well, you have to say they are really struggling, some of these medium runners now on their tyres. A lot of them sliding out the corners like you wouldn't believe. And it's going to be interesting. Surely they will pit this lap, and they all do. They all come in the pits, and it'll be a race between the pit crews. And let's see, can any of them make a difference here and jump ahead of the other?
Well, we're on board with Casper, the champion, the man that wants to be Constructors' champions. What can his pit crew do for him? It's a wonderful stop from the Mercedes crew, and they get him out ahead of everyone else once again as Aiden and Lewis continue on their way. It's Casper from Machine Ireland to Gioviamani, and Gioviamani has closed that gap up. V-Carb have done an absolute wonderful job, and there you go, in the view, there is Dan Morris, there is Court Gill. They're going to be behind the front 3, but Court Gill is looking to take P4. Dalmor is going to try hang it around the outside, but these guys don't want to lose too much time to the battle in Park, and Courtgill gets the move done, and Court now needs to set his sights on Jovial Mane if he wants any chance of picking up P3 in the championship this season. They're just outside of DRS, but they've got a wonderful chance of closing that gap if the top three start battling.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Court and Damos, that strategy's just not worked there because they've been fighting each other so hard. They've completely lost out here, and they're on the slower tyres. So really, for them, they're going to have to be worried about a potential Kai fighting back for him, maybe even Matt Tibos at some point in this race. So not great at all for them too. And well, let's just see. It's surely just a three-way fight now for the win.
We'd imagine so, unless Courtgill can pick up some incredible pace at the end. Aidan Griffiths and Lewis Craig going to box from first and second. These guys have gone long on the stint. Lewis obviously couldn't box because Casper came into the pits, but now it's the battle for P3 at the moment. It's going to turn into P1 in about 35 seconds. Here comes Machine Ireland, and this is going to be as easy as you like. Easy pickings. These guys had a great battle in Spa for the win in the wet conditions, and it looks like we're getting an absolute fantastic battle in Qatar, and this race is absolutely flown by. It's the 10th lap. We've got 5 laps to go in Qatar, and any one of the top 3 can win this Grand Prix, and we've not been let down in TGP1 at all this season for action, and round 19 is producing the same.
Absolutely, and there is Matt Tibos actually around the outside of Dom Smith. This could be important for the constructors, and there he goes, right around the outside. What a fantastic overtake that was from Matt Tibos to have the confidence to just breeze around the outside of Dom Smith there, and he does have a penalty, so if Dom can hang with him, he will jump back ahead, but Dom Smith is really feeling the pressure now. He's got Aidan right on his tail as well, and this is critical points that may be slipping away for RB.
Well, Dom's most likely going to hang on to the penalty of Matt Tibos. It is more the papaya of Aidan Griffiths behind. Aidan, a reserve driver, doesn't pick up points for his team in the constructors in TGP1. He's filling in tonight for one of the guys that are just taking a break on the final week. But Dom Smith now needs to focus on the car behind. He cannot lose more points because he's probably not going to be able to keep up with Matt Tibos, who's on the quicker rubber. Aidan Griffiths on the quicker rubber as well, and he's absolutely flying. But we'll turn our attention to the lead of the Grand Prix because Casper, who's just lost the fastest lap to Kai, but he's actually lifting off. Some mind games that we've seen in Spain and Silverstone as Dan Morris gets back ahead of Courtgill. Kai's involved in this battle as well. And there's absolutely no quarter given. What can Kai do on the exit of turn 3? Should have the grip compared to the Red Bull. It should be an easy move, but who's going to be later on the brakes? It's Courtgill, and Kai knows better than to go deep into that corner. Aidan Griffiths has passed Dom Smith there. Dom will be hoping he can hang on to Aidan's DRS, and maybe Aidan can reel Dom back in to Matt Tibos' penalty and just allow Dom Smith to hang on to P8, because VCAR picking up good points, not going to be enough. Well, if Casper finishes second, they will close the gap because Lewis Craig is down the order in P11. Lewis going to have to pick up the pace. He's about 5 seconds back. A speed guy's actually gotten past Courtgill there. Court struggling on those mediums, maybe stopped too early. The guys that started on the softs seem to have been paying the price later on in the race.
Absolutely. I tell you, get the popcorn ready. We are all set for a grandstand finish here because Casper does not want to get ahead of Machine Island yet, and it's allowed Joe Manti to get right on his tail. But Casper now will have the DRS and will easily get ahead of Machine Island. But look out for Joe Manti behind. Will he get interested in making the move? No, he doesn't. He's going to wait just behind, but we've not got long to go here. And we've got another battle behind. Look at this. Dan Morris now getting passed by Kai into the first corner. So there's battles galore, left, right, and centre here. And it's Speed Kai now up into 4th.
Kai up into 4th, a wonderful move, and these guys are dragging Matt Tibos into the action. Matt Tibos obviously with a penalty, but he has got a wonderful opportunity. It's Lewis Craig, we just seen the end of that there, picks up 10th place, 4.5 seconds back to Dom Smith. A big ask, but the Scotsman's going to do everything he can to pick up that position. And I tell you what, Jovial Mane has a full battery in the back of that V-carb, and this could be a last lap push from the V-carb to pick up another victory. It'd be a 23rd in TGP1. I believe it'd be his 3rd of the season. Giovanni could be doing a last lap hooray once again. He's done that multiple times this season already. He is about 6 tenths back, so if he's going to make it, it needs to be probably in lap 13, beginning of lap 14. Casper, though, in the lead. We're kind of thinking you wouldn't want to lead going into the final lap of this Grand Prix. You'd want to be P2.
No, absolutely not. This is the mind games that we've talked about already, that we've seen many times this season, and it's fitting on this final evening of the season. But we're going to see it once again. Casper then has got a healthy lead this time around. We are on the penultimate lap, and he's going to lead us onto the final lap, you would imagine. And let's just see, how will he play this? He's got caught out many times before, and there is Dan Morris making the move up the inside once again on Kai. But Kai is going to hang on this time around, and will keep P4. But strap yourselves in. I think this final lap is going to be explosive.
Look at battles all throughout the field. Everyone is close together. This is the action that we've had in TGP1 all season long. You don't know where to look, but we're looking at the front. It's Machine Ireland, it's Casper, it's Jovial Mani, the men that have separated multiple wins this season. One of them is champion-elect. Machine Fishy, wanting to be champion for so long. He's been disappointed with his season. He's not been able to challenge the front guys in the dry conditions until Qatar here in round 19. He's doing everything he can, but he just doesn't seem to have that final attempt through the second sector to close that gap. But it's coming down now. Yeah. The gap is 3 tenths, and Machine Ireland is in prime position to pick up a win here in this Grand Prix if he can make the move. The blinking Christmas tree light on Casper ahead, saving as much of the battery as he can to defend. We're coming round the final corner for the second last time. Casper's going to go defensive early, and this is it. It's lap 14. This is probably your last chance to pick up the win in Qatar in the lead of the Grand Prix, and Casper's got absolutely nothing to defend with, but he'll go late on the brakes. He'll push the kick cyber wide, but will it be enough? Machine Ireland trying everything he can on the soft coming tires. They make a wee bit of contact, and now allows Casper to hold on to the lead. Will this allow Jovial Mani to get into the action? Not at the moment. And it looks like Casper, for now, is going to win the Qatar Grand Prix. Has Machine Ireland got another chance as Casper locks up there at the end of the first sector? Machine Ireland is running out of corners. It looks like Casper's going to pick up another victory this season and possibly wrap up the constructors for his team. And this is what Mercedes need. They don't want the pressure going into the final race in Abu Dhabi. They want both championships wrapped up now in Qatar in round 19. Machine Ireland is running out of time. He's run out of battery. He's running out of options. He's only got one opportunity now, and that's the run up to the line. And look how much he's closing the gap. He's going to be so close at the end. Will it be a last move into the final corner? Not quite into the final corner. Will he be able to beat him on the line? No, he's not got the traction. Casper's going to win. Machine Ireland will be second, and Jovial Mani will pick up third. Dan Morris is going to be fourth on the road, but it's Court Gill in fourth, Speed Kai in fifth, Aidan Griffiths picks up sixth, Dan Morris is going to come home in seventh, Matt Tibbos does come home in 8th. He manages to hang on with his penalty. Dom Smith comes home in 9th. Lewis Craig picks up a top 10 finish. Bevesser is 11th. Phil Bardwell will hang on from Arthur in 13th. Poop Cannon should pick up 12th due to penalties, and I think Chris Johnson is going to come home in 15th, picking up no points. A bit of a disaster of a Grand Prix for the Ferrari driver, and Cam K. Mam, who didn't really expect much of himself this Grand Prix, was saying that he wasn't looking forward to it, and the car just not providing him the grip that it's provided his teammate Dan Morris, who came 7th. But that will be your rundown of the Qatar Grand Prix, and once again we've not been let down by the top guys in TGP1.
Yeah, absolutely. What a superb race that was. Absolutely thrilling all the way to the checkered flag. And, well, it's that Manian Casper who wins. And I tell you, if anyone thought he was going to take it easy, now he's got the championship all wrapped up. Absolutely none of it. He was hanging on like he was fighting for the championship there on that last lap into the first corner. Great defensive driving. And, well, what a superb race that was.
Well, Casper on the top step of the podium once more. He's not been there very often in recent races. It's his first win since round 14 in Monza, where we had the 50% Grand Prix. So it's a first win in five for Casper. So a bit of a drought. And, well, let's be honest, you don't want to win a Grand Prix because Casper's taking it easy. You don't want him to lift off because he's champion. You want to win it on merit. Everyone wants to win a Grand Prix, of course, but you don't want to win it because someone's taking it easy. But Casper has not taken it easy at all this season. He's going until the final whistle. And it is another victory. And it is the sixth, seventh victory of his season. I will just double check that. Yeah, it's the seventh victory of the season. But a bit of a shock to think that he's not won since round 14 when we had that 50% Grand Prix in Monza. It just seems like a wee while ago that was. Casper, just this season, expect him to be up there all the time. But a first win in four for Casper, he'll be delighted with that. We will get the points in the constructors and see what maps out for the final Grand Prix, see if we've got a championship battle. But final thoughts on that Qatar Grand Prix from yourself, how the ending was just fantastic.
Yeah, superb stuff. Like I said, it was great racing, which you don't always see at Qatar. I mean, it's a bit of a funny old track, but I think, once again, with the DRS being so powerful, the drivers had to almost think of that in a different way. And again, we get that tactical race, which generates a really exciting finale. Every single time we've had that, where there's a big long start finish straight where the drivers really kind of almost don't want to be leading on that final lap. It gives us that proper chess match, if you like, between the front runners and further back as well, where they really don't know, do they want to lead on the last lap? And if they are just absolutely holding on for all they can to secure the result. But once again, a great result for Casper, and probably a critical result for the constructors, because I saw that Dom only just finished ahead of Lewis Craig in terms of the positions at the end there. So that gap probably, if anything, it's probably gone up a little bit. So I think it's going to be a big old ask for RB in this final round.
Well, the gap without the fastest lap, I wasn't quite sure who picked it up there, is 31 points. If the fastest lap did go to Casper, then it's 32. I do know that Casper is starting from the back of the grid in Abu Dhabi in one-shot quali. So there is a chance. You kind of need someone. You need Jovial Mani to really win this Grand Prix, and you need Dom to pick up a top kind of 8 position. You're hoping that Casper doesn't close that too much, and you're kind of hoping Lewis Craig doesn't have one of those Grand Prix like he did in Baku where he picked up P5. You're wanting him to be down the order in 11th to 12th. So we are going to have the battle. It's one-shot quality. It's going to be 20 laps of Abu Dhabi. The championship mathematically not over in the constructors. We'll see come the end of the 20 laps what it's going to be like. But with Casper starting last, we've got a chance of someone else picking up a win. Aidan Griffin's had good pace. If he wasn't stuck behind Dom, he might have been up there for the win. Have we got an opportunity here at Abu Dhabi in the final race to see maybe someone that's not won this season pick up a win? Big shout out to Magic Poopcannon. I was told by Dom that Magic Poopcannon has just broken his record for most points ever scored in a TGP1 season for him. So congratulations to Magic Poopcannon on that achievement. He has been here only a few weeks. I'm pretty sure he's not been here every week. So to be able to break that points gap is very well done to the American driver, and hopefully that may continue into Abu Dhabi and to next season. But going into this final race, is the pride still going to be there, or are we going to see the guys having fun?
Well, I think a bit of a blend of the two, to be honest with you. I think there will be a lot of drivers that are maybe not fighting for too much now, and they want to just treat this as just pure fun in the last race. I think the RBs have to take it seriously, because you just don't know. There could be an opportunity that arises, and we could see a bit of a crazy race as well. So I think it's going to be interesting because with that, you usually get a bit of a freak result sometimes when you've got a few drivers that are taking it seriously and some that aren't. So let's just see. I'm looking forward to it, and definitely that fight for pole is going to be wide open with Casper now starting at the back. It's an opportunity for some people to that could be their good final result of the season, maybe a pole position.
Well, Paul, all up to play for. The win up to play for. Obviously, during the season, as we've got a bit of time, I think we are waiting for Wet Lemons to join the session if he's not already. So your winner in Bahrain in week 1 on the opening round, Phil Barswell. Later on in the night, ERT Casper picked up his first of 4 victories in a row in Saudi Arabia. Week 2 was Australia and Japan, and Casper picked up 2 wins in a row there again. We went to round 3. Week 3, sorry, which was round 5 and 6. Casper picked up the win in China. Keenan picked up a dominant win in Imola. Kind of expected. Kieran's been very good around Imola in the past. Casper picked up another victory in Monaco a week later, and Gioviamani picked up a win in Canada out of nowhere, really. Gioviamani was kind of 4th to 6th, and he just kind of picked up that win out of nowhere. In Spain, we had that epic battle that went from lap 1 to lap 18 between Casper and Kieran played a bit of the mind games and got the move done on the last lap. Casper kind of expected that later on in the season, but wasn't expecting it there. We went to round 10 and 11 where Gioviamani picked up 2 in a row at Austria and Great Britain. Machine Fishy picked up the win in a wet Belgium. And Kieran picked up a win in Zandvoort the same night. Casper, his last win before tonight was at Monza in only the second 50% race we've ever had in TGP2. Gioviamani picked up a 4th win of the season at Azerbaijan, and Courtgill picked up his first win in 10 years in the United States. Kieran picked up another win in Brazil. Machine Fishy picked up a win in a wet Las Vegas, which was a bit of a shock to us in the commentary box. And like you just seen in Qatar, Casper picked up a win where the top 3 were covered by less than 5/10 of a second. Guys, if you've not watched any of this season, what have you been doing? And if you haven't, go back and watch it. It's been a fantastic season. We knew very early on that Casper was going to be your champion. But that does not mean that it hasn't been entertaining. Casper has not won many races easily this season. The guys have pushed him to the limit. It just shows you how perfect and consistent Casper's had to be to have that points gap. Because I can't really remember a race that was dominated by anyone other than Machine Fishy, where he had that gap in Spa because of the wet conditions, where he was about 5 seconds ahead before the safety car, unless I'm mistaken, and I can't remember. But Casper, just consistency. He's going to be crowned champion at the end of this Grand Prix, but he's not had it his own way, and it's just been another fantastic season of TGP1.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. If you look to the points gap, you'd think, oh, well, Casper's dominated this, hasn't he? And yes, he kind of has, but every race, bar Spa, like you said there, Jack, has been super close. And I think that says a lot when there's only really one race that you can think of that was dominated. So let's hope the season ends off in style, and let's see who can get pole position for the final time.
Well, we're going to watch the man that runs the show, the man that's not picked up a podium, but is going for his best result of a TGP1 season since season 14. We're on board with Dom Smith. We'll see what he can do in qualifying in Abu Dhabi. He's been pretty smooth through turns 1 and 2. He avoids the curbs, maybe not running a setup that can control the curbs, but now, obviously, it's not new anymore. This is kind of the norm. Late breaking into the Max Verstappen famous corner. It's not smooth from Dom, but it's enough for the top 6 at the moment, and he's battling the likes of Casper and Machine Island and Kai, which is exactly where he needs to be for the battle for the constructors. Casper told us he was going to start last, but it looks like he's going to try and win the constructors, maybe finding it too risky to start at the back. But Dom Smith looking pretty smooth through the hairpin chicane, and it's looking like a run on the second DRS now. He'll open it up on the run to where there's been multiple issues in the old system, but now the new format, just flat out through the left-hander. Absolutely lovely to drive unless you're the front right tyre. You're just screaming in pain. You want it to end. But now Dom coming up to the hotel section. What can his lap time be? He's dropped all the way down to the bottom of the field, so Dom Smith has felt the pressure of the commentary. Sorry about that, Dom. Me and Dom had a bit of a crash there back many years ago in Abu Dhabi as well. Dom now round the final corner. It's not going to be a wonder for qualifying, but it's Gioviamani on pole. Casper on the front row of the grid. I think Casper was a bit worried about the V-carbs picking up the constructors.
Well, I think that's the thing. If Casper gets involved in something, if he started at the back, then he has to worry about Giovanni because that is some pace he set out front, very close to the top four, less than a tenth in it. But it is Giovanni on pole for the final time this season. And what a shame for Dom Smith, just down in 12th place. But critically, he is next to Lewis Craig, so he can use that as motivation, Jack, to get ahead and up the order if RB want to stay in this fight.
Well, the top four separated by less than a tenth of a second. That shows you the league stature of this division. Dom Smith and Lewis Craig, 11th and 12th, the old enemy of each other. Them guys have been battling tooth and nail for 2 seasons now. And Dom Smith has come out ahead in both. Dom Smith has put Lewis to the spanner, but Dom Smith isn't worried about that battle with Lewis. He's worried about the championship and the constructors. Going to be dry, of course. Kick Sauber letting us know that Machine Island is washed again. But Machine Island have been very impressive in the second half of the season. Not so much in qualifying. It's more been his race pace that has been great. But now we're getting onto the grid. It's Jovial Manti on pole. Someone that is notorious for good starts over the years. Not so much this season, I have to say. In 22, 23, he was kind of always would pick up those places off the beginning. Doesn't need to pick up any places here. He just needs to hang on. It's Casper and it's Jovial Manti. The championship is over in the drivers. It's the top 2 in the drivers' championship. It's the top 2 in the constructors. And if Jovial Manti wants any chance of picking up a title this season, he needs to get the job done and hope that his teammate can pick up a lot of points. But we're on the grid. It's the Irishman Jovial Manti versus the Finishman of Casper. It's lights out and away we go for the final time of season 42. And Casper has had a great second phase of his start, but Jovial Manti around the outside should hang on, and the Irishman does wonderfully well to hang on. And Phil Barswell looking to attack the Red Bull if he can. He's on the medium compound tires now. They come down the mini hill into turn number 5. What will it be? Is anyone going to look to make a move? We'll see, guys, further back. It's Arthur actually down the inside of Kai. What a move that will be from Arthur. No, Kai manages to hang on. Machine Ireland looking to try and make a move as well, and it's all easy as you like. Everyone's kept it clean at the beginning, which is what you love to see. Is anyone going to make a move late into the hairpin? It looks like Arthur going to try and make a move on Kai. Not quite got the straight line speed. Can Machine Ireland will go down the inside? No, not quite. Lewis Craig's dropping down the order. He's last place. He's spun. And that might light up the eyes of the pit wall on V-Carb. Lewis Craig needs to get going again. I think Magic Poop Cannon and Aiden have come together as well. Lewis Craig out of the points, and obviously if Casper finishes second, they're gonna win the constructors anyway. But Lewis Craig needs to get back on. He's got plenty of laps to catch back up, and there's more action. Dom Smith and Bavessa are battling tooth and nail. Bavessa not one to give up a position easily, but it looks like the race is settled down now as we begin lap number 2.
Yeah, it's going to be intriguing here how Giovanni plays this. He had a great start there, but he will see that. He will see Lewis Craig is in last position and scoring no points at the minute. Will he back Casper up into the rest of the pack to try and upset the new champion just to keep this constructors alive? We'll find out, but Casper's going to be right on him here, and he will have the DRS down this next straight, and we'll just see, can Casper somehow take the lead here off Giovanni, who has started incredibly well here?
Well, he needs to look in his rear view mirrors, because here comes Court Gill, the Mercedes, looking to make a move down the inside. Not got the speed to do it at the moment. Court Gill, someone who's not going to give a monkeys about who's the champion. He wants to win Grand Prix. Kai and Arthur are back at it again. The Williams and the Ferrari battling tooth and nail. Obviously, Kai leaving the Williams team at the end of this season to go elsewhere. He's doing what he can to pick up another victory for them tonight if he can. Someone that was disappointed with his start to the season. He believed he could have challenged for the championship if he managed to find his groove earlier on in the season, but they're side by side of the Ferrari and the Williams still through the hotel section, and Kai has to back out of that position. Very smart there. But yeah, Phil, he's hanging on to this battle for the lead, isn't he? And Arthur and Kai are not dropping back even though they're battling.
Yeah, it is all very close at the minute, and well, Giovanni obviously still leads the way, but they are absolutely nose to tail here. The entire pack literally, bar the couple of back markers at the minute, the whole entire field, right the way down into 12th, are within DRS of each other, which is great to see in this final round. And let's just see, can Giovanni continue to lead the way here? I feel, though, Jack, he needs to back up Casper. Surely he must do what he can to try and get the constructors.
Well, he needs to do that, but maybe Giovanni believes that the Constructors is over and he just wants to pick up a fifth win of the season. Not quite sure how many wins is Giovanni's marks in the season, but I know he is a 22-time Grand Prix winner. Court Gill is closer to Casper than Casper is to the V-Carb, but the DRS and Slipstream should allow him to catch back up, and these guys are so close, just not enough straight to make the move. Kamke Mam and Chris Johnson battling for 9th and 10th. Chris looking like a better result for him in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He's got Dom Smith behind. Those guys have had multiple battles over the years in TGP, and you can just see the smoke of everyone locking up. Maybe guys just struggling for grip and maybe just locking up the brakes, not judging the braking zones too well at the moment. Professor isn't dropping back too far from these guys as well. Dom is so close, but look how close Casper is now for the lead of this Grand Prix. Maybe a mistake for Roy somewhere in the final sector.
I think he's deliberately going slow there. Call me crazy, but he had no ERS deployed at all, and it's a bit of a risk doing this. He was charging the battery a hell of a lot in that final sector, and Casper might have a little look to the inside. Yes, he does. Look at that. Down the inside on Giovanni. What a superb move that is. Giovanni might come back at him, though, and may not have the DRS. No, he won't. Look at this. So Giovanni might be in a bit of trouble here. He'll have the slipstream, but here comes Court then on the RB as well. Look at that. What a fantastic move that was from Casper. He took the lead and offset Giovanni to lose the position to Court, and action already on lap 4 here.
And Casper is about to lose the lead of the Grand Prix in a matter of moments because Giovanni's been passed by Phil, so it's going from bad to worse for the V-Carb, but Court Gill will lead the Grand Prix at the end of lap 4, and Giovanni was doing what Lewis Hamilton did in 2016 to Rosberg, backing him into the field. It's not worked in Giovanni's favour. He's dropped to 4th, and the constructors, already looking like it was heading to Mercedes in the paddock, is slipping away even further from V-Carb, and that is the risk that Roy had to take. He had to back him up into the back of the field, and it looks like Casper's on his way to pick up the constructors for Mercedes practically on his own. But Court Gill leading the Grand Prix. He didn't win a race for 10 years. He's wanting to win every race he possibly can now.
Well, it's the thing. This is wide open here. It is absolutely wide open. They are all so close together. Any of them could win this race, and there's still plenty of time to go. Here's Casper again. Will he have another lunge? No, he doesn't. Thinks better of it this time around. He will have the DRS down this next straight, and Caught there, getting a little bit out of shape coming onto this next straight, and will come under serious pressure from Casper. And you can see now with the DRS and the slipstream, it's going to be an easy pass as he takes the lead of this race once again. And here comes Phil Bardwell now, having a little look on Caught. Thinks better of it.
Yep, Phil lifted off, and here comes Kai on the back of the V-Carb of Giovanni. There's a bit of contact between Phil and Giovanni, and Arthur has actually glitched through Speed Kai to pick up 5th. Kai not going to be too happy with that one, but Casper leads from Court, from Phil, and from Giovanni. And I tell you what, Phil could do something very magical here. We'll need to check in the history of TGP1 to see who won only the first and last race of the season. Machine Ireland has now passed Kai. Machine Ireland on the hards, maybe one to watch out for come the end of the Grand Prix if there's a safety car.
Yeah, to be totally honest, I forgot about him being on those hards, and you're right, Jack. He could really bring himself into play here with how close they all are. That'll make a huge difference at the end of the race if he is on that faster compound. But can Court here recover himself a little bit? He is right with Casper. He will have the DRS very shortly, and gets on the curb and has an almighty snap there through that fast left and right section. And Phil Bardwell is really close behind. Let's just see then, Jack, who can retake the lead here.
Well, that curb has been many names have dropped it in there and hit the barrier and ended their Grand Prix early. Someone that wants the Grand Prix to go the distance is Court Gill, and he's closing that gap to Casper ahead. Both guys on the mediums, and Court lifting off, just not wanting to make the move yet. Maybe feels like a Bahrain situation where the move is better to be done on the second straight, so it is done and dusted for that lap. But Casper just had, what a launch Casper had out of that corner. And here comes Phil now, going to try and make the move, not quite too far back, battles further back as Machine Ireland is absolutely flying on those hards as the Williams and the Ferrari reigniting their battle from lap 3, and the Ferrari holds on again. Arthur had been there's been so many drivers in that Ferrari of Cam missing the last few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you, Kai will not want to see Arthur after this race. He is absolutely fuming with the Ferrari, man. Every time he seems to get held up by Arthur. Now they both drop the position to Machine Island. So we'll see if Kai can eventually get past him as Matt Tibos dives in the pit lane, the first of this bunch. Now, that'll be interesting, Jack, because he was part of that big group. So he will pull the undercut on some of these.
Well, he was last in the group. It's going to be hard. Compounded tyres on the Astons. You can see the pit crew getting to work on Matt Tibbles' car, number 5. Wonderful stop from the Astons. Maybe Aston have seen the pace that Machine Ireland has on those hard compounding tyres and think it's worth the gamble to maybe pick up a win on a podium. But it's back to the front. Court Gill is struggling for pace. Someone that's not struggling for pace is a 4-time race winner this season, Giovanni, back down the inside and back onto the podium for the Irishman. Goes the V-car, but now can he close the gap to Court and get back on to Casper's diffuser? Not quite going to happen on this straight, I don't believe so. I think the DRS and the slipstream going to allow the Red Bull to hang on unless there's a late lunge. Don't think so. And Kai can just not get rid of Arthur. Arthur will go behind and he just sails right back past, and Kai is going to be absolutely fuming. I think we're going to get a few angry messages to James Vowles on the team radio.
Yeah, they've dropped out of DRS as well now. He's going to be absolutely raging. But meanwhile, out front, Casper still obviously leads the way. Let's just see, will any of them react and dive in the pit lane? Follow what the Aston Martin is. There is the other Aston Martin, Phil Bardwell. He comes in the pits then. So both the Astons pull the undercut, and so too is Arthur. And that could be critical. If they start battling hard out front, they will lose plenty of time.
Well, the guys up front going to battle. If the DRS goes hard tyres for Phil Bardwell. So the Aston Martin's on the same strategy. A bit strange that Matt Tibbles got first dibs as he was further behind. But obviously nothing to play for Aston in this season, so maybe not too much. But Phil looking to pick up a win, and he was in a place where he's got a great opportunity for that. Someone that's got a great opportunity is Joey O'Malley now. He's closing that gap. He's so close to Court this time. And it's going to be a freeway battle into the hairpin. Not quite, as the Red Bull breaks very late. Machine Ireland has to break very early not to go into the back of one of these guys. And I tell you what, Machine Ireland's pace on these hards might just prove that the Astons have called a wonderful strategy here. Here comes Court Gildo for the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Will he go around the outside? No. Casper places his Mercedes AMG car perfectly and hangs on for the time being. Kai has dropped 2 seconds to this battle. He's in danger of the undercut from Arthur. He's going to be stuck behind that Ferrari again after the pits.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you, Casper had to get the anchors out going into that hotel section there because he got very, very wide under the brake. And there he goes, dives in the pits. The tyres were probably done. They just about get it slowed down. So Joe Manny, Court and Casper all in the pits. Machine Island does obviously stay out. So we'll keep an eye on his pace. So too does Kai. But it's going to be interesting. I think Machine Island, Jack, dare I say it, he could be the favourite for this one, being on those mediums at the end.
Well, we've seen the pace that he had on the hards, and he's not kind of been there in the dry recent times, but he's so quick. Tonight it just seems around these two, but it's Phil Bardwell. Where is he going to be in comparison? He's jumped everyone, I believe. I think he's going to be ahead of Casper, and Phil Bardwell is in the net lead of the Grand Prix. That is a wonderful call from Aston Martin. The man that won the opening round, he's going to be under pressure, of course, from the guys behind, but he's in a net P1 at the moment. What a call that was from Aston to get track position.
Absolutely, and even Arthur was almost ahead of Court there, and he's actually right in his slipstream as well, almost wheel to wheel down this straight. But what a call for them to undercut those other front runners. Arthur thinks better of it, settles for that P8 position, but a great strategy call, and I tell you, I'm all for it because they were all scrapping very heavily. And here comes Casper though with a DRS, and this should be an easy move on Phil Bardwell. He has nothing to hold off the Mercedes, and it's an easy pass.
Phil got the strategy right, got track position. He just needs to hang on to Casper and try save the battery if he can hang on to his DRS. Machine Ireland, you see the undercut how powerful it was on one lap. Machine Ireland going to drop down the order, but he's going to be in the quicker tyres. How much can he extract out of the mediums later on in the Grand Prix and get himself back within a fighting chance of picking up the win? Kai losing time as well. I believe he's still on the mediums, Kai. I think he knows what's happened here. He's left it too late and is now maybe hoping for a safety car.
I tell you, Casper was very, very wide out of that final corner. 100% would have picked up a warning. So that's just something for people to keep in mind here, that that is something that could play a factor later on. If he picks up a penalty, or maybe others pick up a penalty, that really could decide this podium and maybe even the winner of this race. But Phil has not gone away here, Jack, and he's going to come right back at the Mercedes man here.
Well, they've dropped Court ever so much by about 0.5 of a second. Casper is the one now that's going to have absolutely nothing to defend with. Phil not even an overtake. He's lifting off, wanting to make the move where Casper made the move on him on lap 9. There's going to be DRS. Casper gets a good exit again, but once you get up to speed in the slipstream in the DRS, use a wee bit of the battery, and there goes Phil Bargewell round it, and there's a safety car, and Machine Ireland and Kai and Cam came up, and Professors have pulled a blinder here. The top 4 are going to stay as you are. Well, the top 3 are at least. Professor going to pick up positions. Machine Ireland is going to lead the Grand Prix on the quicker tires. He's picked up a penalty because he's cut the corner out in the pits. What a disaster. How have you done that, for God's sake? Kai has played a blinder here. Kai could win this Grand Prix. I just said it on the last lap that Kai was waiting for a safety car, and he's got his wish. The Williams guys were caught. There was mischief and softs. Well, they might go they might be okay. They might be all right.
Should be okay. I tell you, Jack, that was an almighty shunt for Matt Tibos there. It was coming out of the chicane. I don't know what on earth happened, whether he made contact with another car, but I just saw his Aston Martin go spearing off into the barrier, and wow, I mean, it almost gimmish. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, what a strange place to crash, and a safety car that is really going to shake up this race now.
Well, Casper and Phil and Arthur did manage to hang on. You got Machine Ireland on the quicker tyres with a penalty. You got Speed Kai on there as well. He's on the soft. We'll get the tyres up, ladies and gentlemen. I think everyone's boxed as well, so we'll just confirm that everyone has boxed. Yep, some guys obviously too stopping to get softs until the end, like the likes of Aidan Griffiths, Lewis Craig and Speed Kai. But Giovinazzi down in 9th. Dom Smith down in 12th. It looks like that is the championship of the constructors over. Phil, though, going for a win in the round 1 and round 20. I am going to quickly check if that has ever been done and you don't win another race in the season. So I'll let you have a wee moment to get your thoughts on the season, as this has been your first time I believe this is your first time commentating on TGP1 season. How has it been for you? Were you expecting such an action-packed season, and have you got any thoughts on next season as we've been confirmed to be the lineup for season 34?
Well, I remember racing here many a season ago, and it was action-packed then, but this has been something else this season, and to commentate over it has been a pleasure, and it's been, well, every single race really has had its own kind of story, and it's been, action-packed throughout. And I think we're going to have a perfect finale here to the season of a really, really exciting finish here. The safety car will probably stay out for another lap, and the top 3 are going to have to hang on for their life here, because those hard tyres, although they're fairly new, they will struggle against the rest. Machine Ireland does have a penalty, so he could be the cork in the bottle here, as we've got more people coming into the pits there. But Kai on the soft tyres, I think you're right, Jack. They should survive these closing stages, especially now the safety car stayed out another lap. And the only thing for RB here, the only last clutching at straws for them is the fact that Casper is on hard tyres. If he gets mugged at the start and something happens, they could, on those fresh mediums, pull something out the bag here, but they're going to need a lot of things to go their way, that's for sure.
Well, you need Casper realistically to not finish the Grand Prix now. Phil, I've had a quick scan of the first 20 seasons of TGP1. in the first 20. We've had people win the first round and the last round, but they've won races throughout. I don't believe it's ever been done where someone's won the opening round, not won again until the final round. But Phil, if he can get this done, this would be absolutely amazing. It was amazing in Bahrain when he picked up the win. But if he could do it here in Abu Dhabi, what an end to the season that would be. And I think Phil would class this as a success this season. He's not been in the championship hunt. Really, if we're being honest and fair, we've not really considered Phil someone that could win the championship. But he is a very experienced driver, someone that we have the utmost respect for over the course of the season. I think he has the most podiums in a row, like at least one podium a season in a row. I think it's something like 18 seasons with a podium finish in a row. But he's sixth in the championship. He's got a big gap to Dom in seventh, so he's not got that to worry about. But to pick up 2 wins, a couple of podiums, I think Phil would class this as a success. The safety car is coming in, so that means that Phil is basically your safety car now. He'll control the pace and decide when we get going again. No overtaking until we get to the start-finish straight. No doing what Max Verstappen did in the sprint race code, pulling up alongside. You will get a penalty for that. So you've just got to follow the cars, train like carriages until Phil decides to get going, unless he leaves it too late and they overtake him all on the line, but that shouldn't happen. Phil, though, he's going to get going when he best sees fit. We're going to go on board with the Mercedes. The top 3 are on the hards, so they could be under pressure here from 4th and 5th, who are on the mediums and the softs. It's a lot harder to keep up the tyre temperatures on the hard compounded tyre, but we'll see. Final time. We've got 9 laps to go, and Phil has gone. It looks like he's left Casper in the wind there. It's a wonderful restart from Phil for the time being. Can Arthur get ahead of Casper? No. Can Machine Ireland challenge the front 3 for a podium and break the 3-second gap that he'll need to get rid of that penalty that he cut on the inside of turning into the pit lane? And here comes Machine Ireland. They're looking to make this move as early as he can, but like we've seen all night, he's not made that easy. But there goes Kai, giving Arthur a bit of his own medicine, and Kai with the double overtake, and he's absolutely flying on those soft compounded tyres. And Kieran might pick up another victory this season if the softs go the distance.
Yeah, he is absolutely flying. I was going to say, he is the one to watch here. And those hard tyre runners, they're going to need a miracle to hang on here. Kai is absolutely flying on those softs. And Casper may have the ERS at the minute to just hold on. But I think that Williams might be a bit too quick through the rest of the lap. And there is Arthur just about hanging on from Cam K. Oh, no, they touch.
Big collision.
Safety
There's
car.
another safety car. I believe everyone is going to stop for softs. And I don't like seeing stuff on the stream without being in the steward's room. But that did look like the Ferrari left absolutely no space for the Haas. But we'll obviously wait and see that again. Don't like commenting in the commentary box. Who is going to stay out? Casper boxes for fresh softs, maybe believing that he is not going to pick up the win on those hard tyres, so it's just worth coming in for softs. We'll see what everyone else does. The RBs, though, going to jump up the order. Lewis Craig's boxing. So we're going to do some quick maths. I know it's practically over, but we'll do some quick maths just to keep the last few laps spicy if it's not already spicy enough in DGV1.
Oh, I'm on the hype train of this. I think, hear me out. I know Casper's just put a set of soft tyres on, and we'll probably pick all these off in a lap or so. But if RB, with the penalty for Machine Island, if they've got any pace at this restart, I mean, both of them right up there. I know you're doing the maths right now, Jack, but that is what they kind of needed. They needed those to pit, such as Casper, and have you got the maths? I think it's not enough anyway at the minute, but
so the gap was 31. They're only
it's a lot in that.
19 points. So it's not going to be enough. I've just had word from Karun on Sky Race Control. Kicksaber don't believe that this penalty is going to stand for Machine Ireland come the end of the Grand Prix. So Machine Ireland might be racing for the win here without that penalty. So we'll ignore that until the stewards decide after the Grand Prix. But Karun letting us know that Kick don't believe that's going to stand. So this could be a straight battle. And has Kai boxed again for softs?
He has. Fresh set of softs on the car. I'm actually shocked some of them have pitted. I
Why has he
mean,
done that?
no idea. No idea. Because at the end of the day, I know they've probably got a very short life, but they've got so much work to do. I mean, they'll have the tyre advantage, but they've got a lot of cars to pass. The safety car, I mean, it's not coming in yet, so it means we're going to have even less laps left of this one. And I don't know, I think Phil staying out may have pulled a blinder there if he can hang on out front. Well, I mean, the likes of Kai and Casper and the others pitting, I don't know. I think they've got a lot of work to do when we're going to have, what, about 5 laps to go when we get back underway?
Well, I understand Casper pitting because he's on the hards. He's got nothing really to race
Yes.
for. The constructors is wrapped up. You don't really want another restart in the hards when you know you're going to get done. But I don't understand my Kai box. That's confused me a bit. But Kieran is a multiple race winner in TGP1. I've only got the one win, so we'll let Kieran be the boss. And well, the strategy that looked wonderful a moment ago when the safety car first came out looks like it's been a disaster for Speed Car, but we'll see come the end of the race. Machine Ireland on the mediums, he's the closest to Phil that is not on the hards, and Machine Ireland might just have a chance, even with the penalty, of picking up the win here. Bavesser behind, he was the 99th man to pick up a podium in TGP1, folks, Bavesser. I don't believe we've had a 100th man on the podium. I think Jovial Manny was in the top 3, wasn't he, with Machine Ireland and Casper. So I think it looks safe that the 99th podium in TGP1 is going to stand. So it looks like that 100th podium finisher in TGP1 is going to go into season 43. And well, there'll be plenty of guys wanting that accolade come season 43, come March.
Absolutely. And, well, I think... I've really got no idea what's going to happen here. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. And if you thought it was going to be a little bit unpredictable at the last restart, I've got no idea what's going to happen at this one, because there is a right old mix of tyres and drivers that are potentially out of position. Bavessia at the minute in 3rd place. Let's see if he can hold on to that. But Phil Bargewell, he got a great restart last time, Jack. Let's see if he can repeat the same thing again. It's harder to do it twice in a row, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, Machine Ireland will be expecting it where he did it last time, so Phil's going to have to do it somewhere new. I've just had word from the teams, barring Lewis Craig's first 3-second penalty. I think the rest of the penalties are going to be removed. So I think Lewis has a 3-second and no one else has a penalty, so we'll ignore the black and white flags on the left. Phil, though, goes a bit earlier than he did last time. Is this going to cost him? He gives Machine Ireland a bit more of a run to make the move. Obviously on the mediums, doesn't have to warm up his tyres as much. We're green with 5 laps to go of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and Phil is in trouble here of losing the lead, because Machine Ireland is absolutely flying on those medium tyres. The Kicksauber that picked up 2 wins in the wet conditions is looking to pick up a 3rd win this season and pick up a win in the drive for the first time since F1 2019. There's guys making moves further back, but we're watching the front. It's Phil defending. He's weaving everywhere he can. Not quite in danger of getting in trouble for that. It was kind of okay from Phil.
He's hanging
but
on.
Machine Ireland going round the outside, but Phil going to try hang on. Phil will do the switch back, but he's gone over the curb. And Phil is in danger of losing to Bavesser here.
Yeah, he went absolutely flying there, but he's coming back at the Sauber. He's got the slipstream. Can he go to the outside of Machine Island? Will he have the grip? He's going to try it, and he's not quite going to do it. But Vessia's though on his inside. How on earth he didn't get spun around, I'm not quite sure. And Court now, looking to the outside of him. They touch tyres, and Court, late on the brakes, gets the job done. No, he doesn't. He's forced wide, and it's all kicking off here, Jack.
And Court picks up a 3-second time penalty. He was forced off the track. That one's probably going to get removed as well. The McLaren's picked up damage as he had to take avoiding action of the Aston behind. And it looks like Machine Ireland is going to sail away with the victory here. As you see the guys, DRS enabled. Casper in P7 now, battling Dom Smith. They're going to be 3 wide into turn 1. No, they're not, because Dom pulls out. Dom's forced off the track. Casper's going to have to give that one up. Surely not at the moment. Those guys are going to leave it for now. But I imagine Casper going to have to give that one up to Dom.
Dom's coming back on the inside of Casper, and he's got the move done. No, not quite. And I never thought I'd be saying that, but Dom can't quite get back ahead of Casper and has to settle for the position. But Phil is trying to come back at Machine Island here. He's got the slipstream and will chuck it up the inside.
3.5 laps to go, and the man that led and won round 1 is leading round 20. Phil got the speed, he boxed early, did the undercut, and he's sailing to victory for the second time for Aston Martin. But here comes Court Gill now, no damage on the car, should be an easy pass on Professor around the outside, who's got less downforce now. Court onto the podium, will look to get the penalty removed, but Phil's slow. Phil is very slow, and here comes Court Gill now down the inside. What a move this would be by the Red Bull. He's squeezed tight, and Machine Ireland hangs on through the hotel section. What a view we've got of the battle here, folks. Casper didn't give that position back to Dom. Maybe Casper thinks that one was okay, as Arthur is absolutely dive-bombed Dom there. And I don't think Dom's going to be too happy with that one. I think Kai and Aidan are battling as well. They're side by side. It looks like Kai's going to get the move on Aidan Griffiths for P9. Yep, down the inside goes Kieran. Up into P9. 6 valuable points for him.
Yeah, if there's someone to dive bomb on, I wouldn't have picked Dom there, and that was ambitious from Alpha. And there goes Giovanni down the inside on Bavesia. He takes P4, but Bavesia will try the switch back on the RB. We'll get a great exit, but look at the front though. There's Machine Island. He's going to try and take the lead back off Phil Bargewell on lap 18 here. Machine Island retakes the lead.
This is going to go down to the final moments. It's going to be whoever has the slipstream last. There's a lock-up on Casper. And Giovanni's gone over the bump, and that's allowed Bavesser to be slow. And that should allow Casper to go up into P5. It does. Casper's going to have to defend from the McLaren coming back at him. But here comes Phil Bargewell down the inside. And I don't think Machine Ireland fought that too hard.
No, great move from Phil, though. Had the speed into that corner, and, well, I mean, I don't know who's going to win this one again. Look how close it is as Phil gets sideways there, coming out of that corner. But look at this, the entire field are within a second of each other, and this is going to be a grandstand finish here.
Well, we are beginning the penultimate lap of season 42, ladies and gentlemen. It's Phil Bargewell leading with 2 laps to go. Court Gill's had to take evasive action because the late brakes of Machine Ireland. And there goes Giovanni. Should be down the inside. He needs to get this move done before Casper comes calling. Not looking like he's going to be able to make the move there. Is Casper going to go for a late dive bomb? No. They're 3 wide further back. It's Dom, Arthur and Kai battling tooth and nail. And it looks like Arthur's won that battle, and Kai's gone deep into the corner, and he's back in the battling with Lewis Craig for 12th now.
Yeah, he just went so wide there under the braking zone, and look at that, Casper having a little look down the inside of Giovanni. He thought better of it, but Machine Island now had a terrible exit there, actually. That's going to set Court now right onto him with a slipstream. They've both got DRS. Here comes Court then trying to the outside. Can he get past the Sauber? He'll have to get late on the brakes, which he does, and he's going to get it done. Surely he's going to have the momentum now. What a fantastic overtake that is, right around the outside.
What a move from the Red Bull. Indeed, he broke it. And there goes Giovanni down the inside of Machine Ireland. What a move this will be if he can pick it off, but there's not going to be space there. Machine Ireland defends well. Now Casper Casper going to go round the outside of the Nicholas Latifi section, and Giovanni forces him off. The top 2 in the championship, getting very feisty on the final couple of laps. Casper off track, and there goes Professor off track. Sorry, it was Professor that went off track. Everyone getting a bit feisty at the end there. Casper's allowed Giovanni back through, maybe thinking that one was off circuit compared to the one with Dom, but he'll try and make the move. We're on the final lap of season 42, ladies and gentlemen. It's Phil from Court, from Machine Ireland, from Giovanni. Casper's going to pick up second because of his penalty. But this is it, the final lap of racing in 2024 in TGP1. This is what it comes down to. This is your last chance to win a Grand Prix until 2025. The season has flown by. We've had 20 rounds, 10 weeks, 20 fantastic races that have come down to one champion. Court Gill looking to pick up his 2nd win of the season. If he can on track. Phil probably not going to fight it too much because of the time penalty. Who won the opening round, Phil? Court won in Kota, and Court takes the lead on the road of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix as we're coming round the section for the final time this season. It looks like it's going to be Courtgill, at least on the road, picking up the win. Phil has to defend from Machine Ireland to hang on to P2 and maybe the win, but Court wins. Phil will be on the line first. Casper comes home second and is officially crowned the season 42 champion. He was champion-elect last week. He's officially the champion this week, and he'll manage to hang on to that title until at least season 43, where he'll go again and try defend it. But what a season it's been at TGP1. Casper has done a fantastic job from start to finish. He picked up a podium on the final race, but Phil wins round 1 and round 20. Who would have had that on your bingo card at the start of the year? I tell you what, the odds would have been good on Bet Noon for that one. Congratulations to Phil. But a big congratulations to Casper. He is your driver's champion. A massive congratulations to Mercedes and the crew. Lewis Craig and Casper picked up the Constructors' Championship of Season 42. I think it's been a while since the man that won the championship in the drivers has won the Constructors. But what an end to a season. We didn't have a moment's rest at all throughout the season, Cameron. We'll run through the grid one final time as we didn't get an option there. Phil wins, Casper and Court pick up the podium. Bavesson and Cam came on 4th and 5th. Machine Ireland 6th. Dom Smith 7th. Joe Vimani and Chris Johnson 8th and 9th. Kai 10th. Arthur 11th. Martin Pupcan in 12th. Aidan Griffins in 13th. Lewis Craig picked up the final point in 14th. And Matt Tibbles DNF'd from the session. What a first season to introduce yourself into commentating for TGP1. You're coming back for next season, and well, if this was anything to go off, it's going to be absolutely wonderful when we come back in March.
Yeah, the bar has been set for next season, and it is incredibly high. What an end to the season that was. I thought that was the perfect finale there. Action galore, and what a fitting winner as well. Phil Bardwell started the season with a win, ends the season with a win, and what a great end to this GGP season.
Season was fantastic, and it is over again. I don't know how it's come so quick. 10 weeks have absolutely flown by, ladies and gentlemen. 10 weeks, 20 races. And well, Casper is your champion. Mercedes win the Constructors in the final round of the season. Dom Smith had his best finish in season 14. Joe Vimani picked up 5 wins to put him over the 20 mark in all time. He didn't quite breach the top 10. Magic Pupkanen had his greatest season of TGP1 in history. Courtgill won a Grand Prix for the first time since F1 2013. I didn't even know what F1 was back then. It's been wonderful to commentate over from myself and Cameron. We're going to be back in a couple of months for season 43, and I tell you what, I have no idea who's going to win that. Will Casper be able to be as dominant? Will the soft cop return and challenge Casper in another season? I've been Jack Craig, he's been CJH. We're going to give one last thanks to Dom Smith for running another wonderful season. F1 2010, folks, that's when we started this. Dom started this. He's had 42 wonderful seasons. We've had 21 different champions. We've had 99 men on the podium. Who will be the 100th man or woman to be on the podium? Will it happen in season 43? You'll have to come back to find out. This has been TGP Series. This has been season 42, and we'll see you on PS4.